Okay, hold on. If you're a Christian, stop scrolling, because this is going to blow your mind. Now, if you're like me and you've always wondered, what was Jesus writing in the sand when the Pharisees brought to him the woman who was caught in adultery? Now, I know for many Christians, even non-Christians, even myself, this has been a mystery. What was Jesus Christ writing in the sand? Well, brace yourself, because you're about to find out. You see, it was Jewish custom and culture that whenever somebody was found transgressing the law, that the priest would have to write their names and the law that they broke in the sand. And where do I get this? From the word of God himself. In Jeremiah 17:13, it says, "O Lord, the hope of Israel, all who forsake you shall be ashamed. Those who depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living waters." Fountain of living waters. Sounds a little familiar, huh? So let's get a little bit of a refreshing on what happened in John chapter 8. And it says, "Then the scribes and Pharisees brought to him, Jesus, a woman caught in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said to him, 'Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned to death. But what do you say?'" And after this is when Jesus stooped down and began to write in the sand with his fingers, basically ignoring them. You see, Jesus was making a point right in front of their faces and they couldn't even see it. He was trying to make their hypocrisy known to them. Because you see, what they left out in the law of Moses is this. In Leviticus 20:10, it says, "The man who commits adultery with another man's wife, he who commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death." You see, the Pharisees' hearts and mind were all in the wrong place. They were trying to trap Jesus in breaking the law, when they themselves in that moment were breaking the law. You see, because the first thing that they failed to do is to bring the adulteress and the adulterer. You see, according to the laws of Moses, they weren't supposed to just bring the woman. Why did they only bring the woman and not the man? I'm not even going to get into the fact on how they caught this woman in the very act. Were they being a peeping John? I don't know. We're not going to get into that. I just feel like it was set up. They were trying to set up Jesus, and Jesus knew what was in their hearts. The second thing they failed to do was to write their names in the sand, as the Lord had commanded them to do through the prophet Jeremiah. That's why Jesus said, "He who is without sin, let him cast the first stone." And that's why Jesus wrote in the sand. He fulfilled the law they couldn't.